Hey y'all, welcome back to another episode of A Gardener's Journey Homestead. I am Barbara. I'm in Zone 7A in the state of Tennessee, and I'm so glad that you stopped by my channel. Today I'm in the back of my house, and I am prepping my beds for the fall. So I shot a video that probably aired last week, and I needed your help as I started clearing out all of the summer stuff. So we did that on the video. We cleared out all of our summer stuff. The tomatoes, the second succession of tomatoes, peppers, and all that. We cleaned them out in that video. And I want to say thank you guys, because you guys gave me a lot of encouragement, a lot of kudos, and I appreciate that. It gave me the mental energy and the fortitude to keep going. So now this is like part two. So we got the majority of the stuff out except one bed. There's 5 beds back here. One bed we didn't tackle. We still haven't tackled that, but we are going to. Not on this video, because that's going to take a minute. But I want to try to get as much prepped as I can because my garlic has arrived. This is the earliest I've ever had garlic. And so my goal is to get my garlic planted within the next week or so. But before I can plant it, these beds need to be amended. I also did a video last week where I talked about what it means to amend or flip a bed and get it ready for the next crop. So today is what I'm going to do, is like try to get all of the debris out and start amending these beds in preparation to be able to plant our garlic. So first, let's talk about the plan for in the back of the house. So if you're new here, this is where my garden started. So 3 years ago, when I first put my hands in dirt, my first foray into gardening started right back here in the back of my house. So this place is this part is very special to me because this is where it all started. These are my original raised beds. So obviously I've expanded since then, and we have a high tunnel, and we also have an in-ground growing space. One of the things that I'm doing different this fall and winter is that I'm not going to be planting vegetables back here in the back of the house. Normally I've done brassicas and lettuce and things like that in the back of the house, and this year I'm not doing that. I'm only going to do my garlic, and then I'm also going to do flowers just for beauty. So what you can see behind me, we expanded our house earlier this year and added on a sunroom. So this behind me is the sunroom. And so when I'm in the sunroom, my view are these 5 raised beds. Now, it hasn't looked, I mean, I can see produce and all that, but it doesn't look the best because, again, grass grows really tall. It's hard to keep this much land maintained and tidy all at one time, right? But one of the things I really want to do is I want to be able to look at my sunroom, be in my sunroom, and look out and have some beauty this fall. And so I thought, I have 5 beds, and I'm going to plant 2 full of flowers, and then I'm going to do 3 beds of garlic. That's also a change because normally, well, my first year of garlic, I did 1 bed of garlic. Last year, I did 2 beds of garlic. This fall, I'm going to do 3 beds of garlic. Right. And so I'm really excited about that expansion. And so that leaves me with 2 beds. And so those are the beds we're going to try to get ready today as much as possible. And then as well, if we can get to the rest of them, that's good as well. So this may be like a part 2, part 3, who knows. But on this video, we're going to start clearing the bed, and we're going to plant the flowers that we have because we already have those ready to go in the ground. And out of the 5 beds, I'm doing bed 2 and 3 with the flowers, and then beds 1, 4, and 5 will be the garlic. And I chose 2 and 3 for the flowers because that is my view mostly. I can see those when I'm in my sunroom. So I thought it would be nice this fall and winter to be able to look out and see some flowers and some color and things like that. So what we're going to plant is I have some mums that'll usually, you know, make it until like it's, you know, the frost. And then I also have some pansies that will absolutely make it through the frost. So anyway, let me turn you around and let me show you where we left off and what we have left to do today. Okay, so that's the bed that we haven't dealt with, but we will. Not on this video. So that's bed 1. Here is 2 and 3, 4, and 5. So we're going to concentrate starting with bed 3 today and start trying to clear out the debris and amend that bed. So y'all, let's just get to it. Okay, so you guys can see I pretty much got this bed cleared. I quickly remembered that as soon as I started moving stuff around, there's plenty of ants in this bed, though, which I showed you on the last video. Y'all, I'm not fooling with them ants. So I was trying to be real careful. I got my gloves on and all that, but I was trying to not put my hands anywhere near it or where they could get on me. So what I did in this bed, because flowers are going in here, I don't necessarily use all of my good amendments in beds with flowers. It's just flowers. It's just for beauty. It's not food or anything like that. So I put Pro Mix in here, which I already had back here. And then also I added 1 bag of compost. And that's it. So I mixed in the Pro Mix and the compost, and that's going to be it. And I'm going to put the flowers in here. I'm working with limited compost. Our tractor is down and it's at the shop. So I have compost that I've already bought that I got in bulk, but I can't get to any of it and move it to the back of the house without it being a pain. So I bought bags of compost. So I'm really trying to save my bags of compost for the beds that's going to have the garlic in it. So I went sparingly on this bed and added Pro Mix. Organic Pro Mix, you can get it at your local co-op. I bought it in like a 50-pound bag. I've had it pretty much all summer, and I just keep it in the back of the house and use it for the beds back here instead of me trying to truck soil and compost and all that good stuff back here. But it has a lot of mycorrhizae, fungi, all that good stuff. But it's organic Pro Mix. It's great potting soil type compost, fertilizer, all blended up together. So I got this 1 bed done. We're going to lay out our flowers and see what we have, and we'll go from there. So basically what you see me doing is I've laid out the mums. They're definitely ready to go in the ground. They're dry. I bought these like a week ago. I've only watered them once, but I'm sure once I get them in here, they're going to be just fine. There's only 8, so I put 4 on each side, and I'm going to fill in the center with pansies. Obviously, the mums are not going to last all throughout the winter. So I figure if I put those on the end, then once it's time to take those out, I'll still have like pansies in the middle. And if I wanted to, I could always go through and supplement. These are pretty tall, as you can see. So I'm having to dig a little bit deeper than I will for the pansies, so to speak. So we're going to just keep doing this, get these in here, and then we're going to backfill with pansies and see how it looks. Okay, we got our mums in. I was fighting the ants, and I think I got bit. I'm telling you, y'all, these things love me. I got a little spot on my leg. I had to go in the house and take an intermission. I'm back out now, and y'all, I'm gonna get this bed done. But these ants, I hate them. And they love me. It's a love-hate relationship, but it's reversed. I hate them. They love me. But we're going to persevere and get this bed done. And y'all, some things are just for looks. And this bed is just for looks. It's just to bring me pure joy. That's it. And I'm fortunate that I have space that I can dedicate a bed to flowers. So I'm very thankful for that. So let's get back to it. So I got my mums in. So next, I'm going to place the pansies. Next, we're going to move on to this bed here. This is going to be where the second bed of flowers is. So I'm going to clear this one. In that bed over there, I ended up doing just 6 pansies down the middle. And we're going to call that good. Of course, the mums and all that stuff is going to bloom out. I thought about putting some mums in between, some pansies in between each of the mums, but I'm going to try to stretch my tray. I think that's a flat of 18. I just used 6. That means I have 12 for this right here. I may have to supplement, but we'll see. So I'm just going to start cleaning this out as much as I can. This is going to probably need to be backfilled with some soil because I can see where it's kind of pulled away from the bed. This is another bed that needs to be redone. And really, as I think about it, I'm trying to think, do I want to do this one next? Because you can see here, my husband's going to have to replace this right here. So he replaced the other ones and it has stuff in it. So I guess he can do that. So he's gonna have to replace this bottom wood, and then he's gonna put corners on it like all the other, like he's been doing the other beds. So let me come back and tell you what's going on. So basically with these raised beds, they're all wood. Like I said, we built these in 2020, my husband and my son, and they have not lasted as well as I would have hoped, right? So these are not cedar, but it's the next one down that was supposed to be like not as good as cedar, but like right up there close to it. Because I think cedar beds are anticipated to last like five to 7 years, if I'm not mistaken. But at the time we did our bed, cedar was not, we could not find any cedar. So it's not pine, but it's some other one. And they haven't held up well at all. And I guess with the weather and all of that, because the beds in my tunnel don't look like this. And I guess because they're more protected and they don't get all the weather and the rain and stuff like that. So out of these 5 beds, the very last one that my husband did, he put corners on the end. And that one has held up good. So he went back and put corners on some of the rest of these. Let me turn you around and show you. You see those corners there? Those 2 beds he just redid this summer. So basically, he just replaced the wood, and then he put those corners, and that's supposed to help it stay more. And so he did 2 beds. We already had bed number 5 done because that's how he built it to begin with. But we still have this bed to do. You can see how that wood is giving way, and like it's just open and stuff. So you can see that there. What I was saying, I'm sorry, a call came in. But so what I was saying is he's going to have to redo those. Now, what I really want to do, and I don't think I'm ready yet to pull the trigger, is that I really want to replace all of these and just get me some metal raised beds, because in the long run, that's going to be the better investment. Wood is only going to last, you know, I think if I had to guess 5 to 7 years. It's been 3 years and already we're replacing, right? And the cost of wood just keeps going up and up and up. Here's my dilemma, is that to replace all of these beds, one, I have to find the perfect timing when I don't have food growing in them, right? And so the perfect timing would have been like this time of the year, before I plant my garlic and all that. But life is just really busy right now. And so trying to get that done, then we got to empty out all of the soil, put it somewhere, take down the wood, and then put the beds in. That's a large feat. Now, if I'm thinking about that the wrong way and you have a better way to think about that, please let me know, drop it in the comments. But my husband and I have talked about it, and it's just not a good time. It doesn't work out, that he doesn't have the time to do it all. Yeah, we just don't have the time. And we're going to be out of the country next month. And so we have like a long list of stuff to get done before we leave to go out of the country and get, you know, things in order, right? So anyway, long story short, ideally, I don't want to keep this wood, but I'm at a place where I don't want to, I don't know that I don't have the resources and the time to try to replace all of this now, nor do I want to forego not plant my garlic, you know, back here. So I don't know. It's just a toss up. I say all that to say, I'm going to go ahead and plant this bed, but ideally one day, I don't know if it's going to be next year or 5 years from now, I want to replace all this with metal raised beds. So, because that way, those have a lifespan of like 15, 20 years, right? In terms of corrosion and rust resistance and all of that. But we're not there yet. So we're going to keep on. And this is at least an easy way to replace and upkeep the wood, is by putting these corners on. We're going to see how long they last once they have the corners on them. Yeah, we'll see. And I think he's only had to, I can't remember if he said to replace the wood all, yeah, I think he had to replace the wood all the way around. So we're just doing it as we have the money, the time, and the resources for him to do it. It doesn't take long, but that's kind of where we are with that. So I would encourage you, if you are new starting out on your garden and your journey, and you're going to do raised beds, think about metal raised beds. So we have 2 metal raised beds in the tunnel. If you're new, if you keep watching me, you'll see them in the video. I have 2 circular raised beds that I use for like flowers and herbs like that. I love them. I got them from Vigo Garden. But there's also another company called it's not Vigo, but it's close. Vegiga, I don't remember. It's VEGA, I think. Anyway, they also sell beds, and theirs come with a guarantee of a 20-year lifespan that I've been looking at. So yeah, that's the way it goes. And then I thought about And another thing, so now we all off topic, but we are on topic because we're talking about gardening, right? So the other thing is I want another raised bed back here. I really want 6 is what I was thinking. Now, I know y'all think I'm crazy because my husband thinks I'm crazy. I asked him last week, I was like, can I get one more raised bed or whatever? And that was only because in the fall, I want to have 3 beds of garlic and 3 beds of onions, right? But I think what I've decided is I'm going to do 3 beds of garlic back here, and I'm actually going to plant my onions. I'll do 2 beds of onions up here potentially, but I think I'm going to actually do my onions in ground next year. I'm going to try that instead of in raised beds. So we'll see. Anyway, I'll talk about that when we get to it. That's the plan that's in my head. Always plotting, always planning. What was my point? Oh, my point was I thought about buying a metal raised bed to be my bed number 6. But my husband knows how I am. He's like, you're not going to like the way it looks. It's going to look tacky because you're going to have 5 wooden beds and 1 metal raised bed, and you're not going to like it. And he's probably right. I like for things to look a certain way. So anyway, back to me clearing out this bed. But that's the little side, the soliloquy about what I really want to do, but we're not there yet. So because we're not there yet, we're just going to keep on pushing with what we have. And that's what you got to do sometimes. Okay, y'all, I cleared it out. I put the Pro Mix down, and now we're going to plant the pansies. I didn't even use a bag of compost for this because, again, it's for beauty, and they'll be just fine. When you plant them in your front yard, at least I do, I don't put compost down. I'll mulch them real good, water them real good, and they should be just dandy. So I have 12, so I think I'm gonna do 3 rows of 4, and I'll probably have to buy some more to fill it out, or maybe I can fill it in with something else. We'll see. But I'll put this whole tray down and we'll see how it looks. Okay, y'all, the final step. I've watered it really well because the soil was really dry, and obviously there's been nothing out here much for me to water. So it's really dry, so I want to make sure that I got it soaking wet. And I'm actually going to mulch this, which will help me not having to water as much. And I'll do this for the garlic too, because it's good to mulch the garlic. But since I'm going to mulch the garlic, I might as well mulch this as well, so they'll all look uniform and the same. Plus, it gives it a pretty look when it first gets on here. So I'm going to keep doing this, and then we'll call it done. Okay, y'all, 2 beds done, planted, watered, and mulched. We got it done, and we're going to call it a day right here. These are pine shavings, and I was looking like, man, this looks different. These are the bigger. I normally get the fine. This is actually what we use in the dogs for the dogs bedding in the winter. It's the same product, except it's just bigger flakes, so that's why it looks like that. But obviously it's going to break down, it's going to settle down, it's going to look much better. But we got it done. Normally I use the fine for back here in the back. It's the same product, but it's cut a little bit finer, so it's not like big chunks. Excuse me, and the fine looks better, but this is gonna have to do. It's gonna have to do because it's already down, and once the flowers bloom and it all settles down, it's gonna all, kind of come out in the wash, so to speak. So I watered it really well because the soil was really dry, and even like just compacted, which surprised me because I've had stuff in here, and usually as you're growing stuff, it helps to loosen the soil, but for whatever reason it was dry, but it hadn't been watered either. So there's that. But we got that done. So now the next step will be to, 1, clear out bed number 1 that we haven't cleared out. I'm going to need my husband's help with that. And then also, if you saw one of the beds, I got a lone cayenne pepper plant that I cannot get up out of the ground. I tried and tried and tried, about to pull them back out. So I have to get my husband to put it out. So it's just hanging out over there in the corner. It has some cayenne on it. Half of them are green, a couple of them are red. So we'll pick them and get rid of that plant. And then the next step is to prep the other 2 beds that's already cleared out. Get my husband to take down the trellis on the bed that had the cucumbers. And we'll get those ready, amended. We'll amend those obviously with some nutrients and some compost, and we'll plant our garlic and mulch it all in. I'll do a separate video on planting the garlic, so I'll take you along with me and show you what garlic I'm planting. I'm adding a new one to the, I have 2 new ones that I'm adding to the mix. If you haven't ordered your garlic, make sure that you do that. It's about to be, well, when you see this video, it will be October. And that's the time that you want to plant, September, October, November-ish, you know, October. Normally I've been planting mine in November. I've always wanted to plant in October, so I'm actually going to get the opportunity, God willing, to plant in October, which means I'll be able to harvest sooner. So I'm excited about that. So we still have a ways to go. And again, because I don't have all day, and this is not my full-time job, I don't have all day to spend to get all these 5 beds ready at one time. But I took an hour and I got 2 beds done, and I got my flowers planted that I had bought, so they're not going to go to waste, and it's going to give me something pretty to look at. And then we'll work on the garlic. But the garlic is on premises, y'all. The garlic came this week. It is on premises. I had one garlic that's been here like a month. And hopefully it's still okay. I have it in a cool, dark place. But then my other garlic just came a few days ago. So it's on premises, it's on site. We're going to be planting our garlic real soon. So stay tuned for that video. Thank you guys for hanging out with me today as we did part 2, 1A, whatever you want to call it, of getting the back yard ready to prep for our garlic. It'll be our first planting for summer 2024, if you want to call it that, because we'll harvest it next summer. So thank you guys. If you have not subscribed, I would love for you to subscribe. We are growing. It's an awesome community because of you. I appreciate each and every one of you. Every thank you, every like, every comment. Keep it coming, and definitely share this with a neighbor or a friend who wants to learn how to garden, who is into gardening and all the things. Remember, gardening is a journey. Let's grow together. I'll see you next time, friend.